Over in Hollywood Hills and in a lot of the different suburbs over on the West Coast, they're having a problem with being targeted, right? Where y'all thought that y'all was safe because y'all were in higher upper echelon neighborhoods and you were in a mansion, you was off the coast. Y'all thought that y'all was safe because largely what we've always believed is that crime is concentrated or is perpetuated against people that are around you, right? So usually when you look at statistics and data, they all do crime against each other. But now the thieves are getting a little bit smarter. Thank you, Jamal Fowler. I appreciate you. They're getting a little bit smarter, right? And so what they're doing is they're going outside of their normal neighborhoods. And so instead of just stealing from each other, they've decided to make sure that equity and inclusion is implemented across the board. So they're going out to these higher end neighborhoods, the Hollywood Hills and stuff like that, and they're starting to target mansions and rich people and people that thought that they were safe and that could leave their doors open and that have windows that could just be easily busted out. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
Thank you. A multi-million-dollar heist in the Hollywood Hills. Thieves break into a home, stealing dozens of expensive watches. The sophisticated burglars disabled the alarm system and disconnected cameras during the daytime heist.
Residents say it is not the first break-in in the area, and they are terrified their neighborhood is being targeted. John Fenolio is live in the Hollywood Hills with more on the thieves behind this bold daytime burglary, a story you will see only on 5. John?
Cher and Micah, the homeowner tells us several homes have been hit in his Doheny Estates neighborhood in the last few months. And as you mentioned, he believes he was targeted, and he hopes his story will serve as a warning to other residents.
My neighbor called me and said, "Hey, are you at your house?" I go, "No." I said, "I'm afraid you've been hit."
Luis got that call just before 12:30 Tuesday and raced to his Hollywood Hills home to discover he'd been burglarized.
Whoever broke into this house kind of understood the security system.
Man, that house is kind of sick. Hold on, let me back up for a minute.
Whoever broke into this house, kind of understood.
Hey, that closet is on 10. I ain't even gonna cap. Whoever broke into that crib, they knew what they was doing, fam. They absolutely knew what they was doing. That closet is, and you don't see nothing but red bottoms, high-end shoes and red bottoms wrapped around the entire closet. That's pretty dope.
The security system.
How could they understand it?
Because they disabled they went straight to the media room and disabled all the internet. That allowed them to have a free pass because all of the cameras completely go offline. Just like your phone doesn't work here. Nothing works, right? Automatically, the gate opens.
You can see the shattered glass from where the thieves smashed their way into the house, then ransacked the closet. Luis says neighbors saw 3 men in ski masks.
You know what that is, right? When you see that on the floor?
House, then ransacked.
So that right there, that's where all of the watches are, right? That's where all of the watches are. So a lot of times, what we have, and this is the reason why a lot of people always say, well, Anton, why don't you just go get a house or whatever like that? Because I don't want to. You have to go through so many different barriers of entry to be able to get to the places. And then you also got to get into the main safe and all of this stuff. And so you got to go through security. You got to have the code to get to my floors. You got to be able to get through my barricaded door. You got to go through so many different things to get to the places where I stay. And so, people don't understand, and it's because you don't know. You've never had anything to the point to where you've had to start taking steps to be a little bit more protected than you normally would. When you just live in a house, right, or you just live in a gated community, it's much easier for you to be a target, and it's much easier for them to be a target. And so coming from where I come from, I automatically know that you have to move differently when you get something because you are already familiar with being around like minds or people that come from a certain element that is always 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, trying to figure out how to come and get you and take yours. That's what the watches are. Usually what happens is it's a rotator in order to keep your watches on time. Because if, like, for example, if you got a Rolex, I forgot how much time it passed, but it's automatic, right? So it's no battery in this. You just wind it up. It'll stop turning after a certain amount of days or whatever like that. But I don't worry about the same things that they worry about, because you got to go through all of these different steps and security, and then you still got to have a code, and you still got to get through the barricaded door. By that time, you a dead man. Either the police gonna get you or you a dead man. So, people don't understand, and they'll say, hey, why do you own the places or you own the houses that you rent out to other people, but then you decide to live in a building? You decide to go and stay in a corporate apartment. Well, in addition to the money side of it, the tax purposes, we're not going to talk about that right now. In addition to that, it adds extra layers to make sure my family is not ever going to be in the same place as y'all. I never have problems with getting my cars broken into. I never have issues that y'all have because I have secured parking. And I got security waiting for me, and they got to bring my car up. And you got to get the code in order to even be able to get. I don't even have keys to my place because everything is through the application. I have no keys because you can't even get in unless you hit a certain code and you hit the code on the door at the same time. You can't move the same way that we move. So, for all of these people, just targets. And you're right, Rennie Dean, nothing is thief-proof, but you can definitely make it more difficult in order to be able to protect yourself.
Back the closet. Luis says neighbors saw 3 men in ski masks leaving his home located in Doheny Estates in a white Jeep Grand Cherokee.
There were 3 of them. One went downstairs. One went to disable the security system, while the other one went in the closet to take what they came here for.
What they came for were Luis's collection of expensive wristwatches.
My entire collection of Patek Philippe is gone.
Ooh, and see, this is a heist. This is not just a random burglary. This is a heist. This right here is a heist. You know why? Because they skipped over all of the BS that normal thieves would go through. They skipped over the red bottoms. They skipped over all of the crap. They skipped over the little petty stuff. They left all of that stuff and they already had the layout. They probably went on Zillow and looked at the purchase and the previous listings to look at the layout of the house and all of that stuff. Man, I ain't got time for that. I have no time for that. They probably took $400,000-$500,000 worth of watches. Man, that Nautilus. Let me look at this collection. They took an AP worth about $90,000, another AP worth $41,000. Oh man, he got a crazy collection. And that ain't even a half. He probably lost $1 million worth of watches. I hope he had them insured.
Luis's collection of expensive wristwatches.
My entire collection of Patek Philippe is gone. All of them. Every single one of them. And I had some very special
this is
pieces.
inside.
You believed that these crooks knew what they were going after.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They knew what was here, and that's the thing that I don't understand, because I'm very private. So
You got to check your circle. He got some snakes in his circle. He got set up. Listen, it's never the people. This is what I know for sure. If you gonna wind up getting hit as a person that actually understands money and knows how to move and got security, if you get hit, I don't think it has anything to do with insurance at all. He wouldn't even be on camera if it had anything to do with insurance. If you're going to, he hurt, he broken, he hurt, he's scared because he know that there's somebody around him. He got snakes in his circle. That ain't nothing but a snake in his circle. It could be anybody. Whoever it was that got him is somebody close to him. It's somebody that set him up and is close to him. It don't have nothing to do with the insurance. It got everything to do. Listen, you can replace stuff. You can replace stuff. Yeah, I would be hurt if I lost $500,000, $1 million worth of watches, but I can replace money. I can replace watches. I'm not tripping off the watches. I'm more worried about who it is that's around me, because if they willing to break in my crib, disable my security, take my stuff, and they know where everything is, now I got to replace everybody. That's why I don't have no new friends. That's why I keep my circle small. That's why I keep my circle small, because the minute that you start letting people in your crib without taking security measures, the minute that you start trusting too many people and you don't know what they are, if they don't have just as much to lose as you can't come to my crib, bro. You can replace stuff if you know how money works. But what you can't replace is the ability to be able to sleep good at night, knowing that somebody knows exactly how you sleep and when you sleep and how you move, where your stuff at. That's an inside job. That is absolutely an inside job. That dude is losing sleep and he worried. That's one of the reasons why he's talking to the news.
So how would they know what was here?
He says he's now making major security upgrades.
No, I'm
and
gone.
he's not worried about being victimized again.
I don't know what they can rob because they took everything.
Why do you want to get the word out about these stolen watches?
Well, because to dispose of stolen watches, you got to find buyers. The watch community is a very, very, very tight-knit community, and if they can just watch out for a flood of watches, I mean, you're talking
They're not going to let them go like that.
Very high-end watches that are going to hit the market, and you're going to know that some of those watches are mine.
All right, Luis says his watches have specific serial numbers and paperwork. He said buyers should beware of any watches that don't have this verification of authenticity. He also says he hopes residents will check their security system so that they too don't become victims. We're live in the Hollywood Hills. I'm John Fenolio.
Ain't got nothing to do with his residents. Ain't got nothing to do with the neighbors. Ain't got nothing to do with none of that. That is 100% an inside job. That right there is 100% an inside job. That is somebody that he knows that set him up, that knows the layout of his house, knows where his watches is. They didn't do nothing. They broke the window, disabled the security. They had 3 people. One went to security, one went that way, and then the other one went into his closet in order to get his collection. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night, not knowing that my kids is there and my wife is there. And so I'm no. I would be absolutely 100% broken up as a result of it.